is going on YouTube? But Great Blades here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Spyderco Ikuchi. Let's start with some measurements here. So the overall length here is about 7.6 inches. Blade length, we're looking at about 3¼ inches with about a 3.2 inch cutting edge. Do a measurement on the blade stock thickness. So this one is, if you can see there, 90 thousandths, so definitely super duper slicey. Do a quick size comparison with the Demco 20.5 with original goat scales. That'll be linked down below if you're interested. And then the QSP Penguin. So if you look, it is just ever so slightly longer than the Demco 20.5, and then also longer than the QSP Penguin. So it won't be terribly difficult to carry. And then we'll do a quick size, carry profile comparison. It is thinner than the QSP Penguin, and then of course substantially thinner than the 20.5. So like I said, it won't be terribly difficult at all to carry. It is a long, relatively long knife, but it is very thin and it's very compact. So it's not difficult to carry at all. You honestly barely even notice it. Do a quick measurement on the weight here though. Looking at 2.45, 2.5 ounces, right around there. So definitely good on the ounce and inch. If you subscribe to that sort of methodology of an ounce and inch for the knife, this one's not going to be heavy at all. The scales are made of the sort of peel ply carbon fiber with like a G10 underneath it. I'm not a super big fan of that personally. I kind of wish they would either just give us all G10 and charge us less, or give me full carbon fiber, you know, for a little bit extra. But it's still not terrible. I mean, it's fine. It's just not my favorite. The blade is S30V, if I can find it. Where is it here? You can't really see that here. Hold on. S30V, and then this one is flat ground, and then I guess you could call this a sort of trailing point or Persian sort of blade here. And this one runs on phosphor bronze, if I can show that here. I don't know if it'll show up here. Phosphor bronze washers in there. And then it is a compression lock, and sort of what they did here, because Spyderco does they have quite a few compression locks, but this one they kind of gave it like a flipper, not a tab, but more like a wheel, kind of like you'd have on like a lighter, honestly, because the sort of flipper compression lock combo doesn't usually work super well, because the way the compression lock and the flipper tab would have to kind of interact with each other Sometimes the sort of landing zone would be kind of weird, or it would just kind of get in the way and like smack your finger when you're disengaging the compression lock there. So they kind of went with a cogged, like jimped wheel here, and it works in the sense that you can deploy the blade and you're not gonna run your finger into it when you're disengaging it. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it is not comfortable. It is very heavily, aggressively jimped, and it is unforgiving. It will tear up your fingers, if you even sometimes I can't even get it to go just because it tears up your fingers so bad. It can be difficult, but it works, it deploys the blade. This one does have a spidey hole, but it is not actually used for anything because you can't access it. It's just a hole there in the scale, and it goes all the way through. I guess that was just kind of an aesthetic choice, but there's no access to the spidey hole. And when these originally came out, the very, very first ones, there were some issues with the blade being, you could run your finger on the back of the blade here, but they have since fixed that quite a while ago. I've had this one for, I think, 3 years now. 4 years, actually, sorry. And that's been fixed. So if you had one prior to 2020, it's possible that you have one that you can run your finger on the blade, but like I said, at least since 2020 they have fixed that, so it's not an issue now anymore. The clip is tip up carry only, but it is right and left hand reversible, and with it being a compression lock, lefties, you can truly enjoy this as an ambidextrous knife, so very nice of them to do that. Left and right hand carry. It is the Spyderco sort of wire clip. I know some people really hate these. Personally, it doesn't bother me. I think it works just fine. The retention's okay. It stays in your pocket, and there's many alternatives if you want to get rid of this. I know like RGT and I think Ott both make clips you can use to replace these if you don't want the wire clip. Flytanium might also make a couple as well, but you can replace this if you don't like it. But ergonomically speaking, it is just a straight line here, so there's no real lock-in spot here. There's no jimping on the top of the spine either, so that is a little bit of a miss for me. I kind of wish they would have put some jimping there at least, because with it just being a completely straight line here, kind of not quite banana shaped, but slightly subtly curved and slim, kind of tapered down here, there's no real way to lock in 100%. You just kind of have to hold it in your hand, and there's no forward finger choil either, so you can't choke up or rest your index finger there. But even with that, it is comfortable. For me, again, if you have truly big hands, you might have an issue with it just because it is so thin, but I don't have any issues with it, and it is comfortable squeezing down. You feel the clip just a little bit on the back end here for me, but it's not something that would bother me, and you can honestly move your hand up just a little bit here and it's out of the way. And this one, is one of Spyderco's Taichung Taiwan models. So if you guys know anything about that, Spyderco makes knives in the US and Taiwan, and a lot of their Taiwan designs are pretty phenomenal. I mean, the fit and finish is great. I've never had any issues with them before, and most people regard them very, very well, very highly, the Taichung models, the Taiwan models, as far as fit and finish and things like that. So this is named the Ikuchi, which I'm probably butchering that name, but it is a Japanese name. It's based off a sea monster, I believe, in Japanese mythology. So, I mean, that's kind of a cool name, you know, in my opinion, but that's at least what it's named after. And then, as far as price, so when I bought this in 2020, so 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago now, it was $175, which I don't think is terrible. It has gone up, you know, since its release. I think it used to be closer to 160 or so when it first came out, and in 2020 it was 175, and then now in 2024, at least last time I looked, and when I'm recording this, it was $183. So it's gone up a little, but very marginally. I mean, if you know Spyderco, some of their more popular models, you know, the Shaman, the Para 3, the PM2, you know, things like that, those have gone up significantly. I mean, especially the Shaman, that one is kind of crazy in terms of the price. It's definitely overpriced, but from what I hear, I actually haven't handled one. It is a good knife, but so in terms of inflation on this particular model, it hasn't really gone up that much. I still think even at that price, it's a pretty good deal. I do just wish that they would upgrade and give us something like a CQI model of this, where they upgrade the scale and maybe, I'm not sure how they would do it, but maybe lighten the detent a little bit just so it's not so insane on your finger when you're trying to deploy it. I think that would be nice. But anything else I think is fine. It's definitely super duper slicey with, sorry, 1 second here. It's definitely super duper slicey with that blade being so thin here. What do I have in here? Anyways, so it's definitely a really, really good slicer. I mean, this thing is sharp, and it definitely has a nice tip on it as well. But this isn't something you would use and go batoning with, or, you know, anything super crazy. But as far as just your basic slicing tasks, you know, paper, cardboard, tape, things like that, this will handle it just well enough. I think that's going to be it though, guys. If you, sorry, what was I going to say here? If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because again, I will be posting more videos. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the Ikuchi. I think this is one of the Spyderco knives that I like the most, just because it is kind of a weirder looking knife, and functionally it's a little bit different, so I think that's interesting. But I do just genuinely enjoy the sort of aesthetics of it as well. But let me know what you guys think about it. Do you have one? Do you want to pick one up? Do you think it's horrendously ugly? Let me know down below. I will see you guys next time though. Bye.